Whoa, hey everybody. Oh my goodness, it's a video game stream. Hi. I know, wow, I'm streaming a game. Who would have thought? Hope you're all doing well on this Sunday in year 9, day 117 of Kerbal here. I guess I have not played Kerbal in quite some time. I did not realize that it's been like 5 months. But I've managed to save us from a modding disaster because Kerbal was updated a few times since then to its final form, and in the process, a lot of mods updated, which then created mod conflicts and all kinds of fun stuff, very similar to the Skyrim issue that we were having. Here's the good news. I was able to, one, save the save, and two, really upgrade our mod array here. With some very interesting and helpful mods that I think are going to make this playthrough that much better. And so I'm actually pretty happy that all that happened. I had planned to stream Friday and Saturday, but I instead spent maybe like a combined 4 or 5 hours unwinding all of this garbage. But I'm pretty happy with it. And because this is the final version of Kerbal, in theory, that's the last time I'll have to do any of that. So I think, yeah, we're in good shape. The big downside is that we lost a couple of our bases and things because the parts that like changed between the mod versions made them incompatible or something. I imagine they all exploded. I don't know. It's probably fine. I think the one thing that stayed alive was our moon base, but you know what? I'm not even sure that that's true. Now that I look at this, I'm not sure why this is called a probe. I guess we ought to just like fly here and see. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Hope you're all having a good weekend. I am. It could be much worse. I planted some seeds this weekend. I did all kinds of real outdoorsy things. Okay, so here's our... Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, this doesn't look good. What is this? Oh, you know what? No, I did remember this. I actually did this myself because I tested this base to see if it was going to work. And it was going to work, but what happened is all of the food had been emptied from the from all of these containers here, and so I guess because of like the life support mods getting switched in and out a couple times, so I think I actually ended up crashing this intentionally. But it's very good that all these things are rolling down the hill. Thank you, Aeon, for alerting me to the fact that there is no alert happening. I guess I'll just do it manually. Oh, you know why it's not happening? Because we ditched the Me6 bot. So we actually don't have a bot that's doing this for us now. I guess we'll have to figure that out. Anyway, yeah, I guess everything exploded here, which is fine. Cordios is here. What's weird is that Cordios, I think, is technically dead. But, yeah, oxygen 0. But still moving. I think Cordios has actually become some kind of zombie. I don't really know what happened there. I think it's probably best that we just forget that this whole site exists and it can come haunt us later. You know, this is the Apollo... What was that movie? The Apollo movie about, like... What if there was an Apollo mission? It was Apollo like 17 or something. But they turned into zombies or something. I don't remember. Anyway, oh hey Potato, thank you for the subscription. But no, so there were some definite improvements here to the modding suite that I want to go over before we get going. And the first one is this really cool mod called Bon Voyage. And what this mod does is it actually allows you to automate rover deployments. So I made a really dumb, bad rover to test this. Oh, I'm glad that it picks up Cordios' body as a rover. That's pretty good. Um, but yeah, so I'm not sure why I can't open up the panel here. Let's see. Reload controllers. But yeah, basically what it's doing is it's allowing us to point a rover to a waypoint, and then it just in the background will send it in that direction and collect science on the way. So this solves a massive issue with our playthrough, which is that we were landing all these rovers on like, the moon, but then it probably would have taken days of just driving around to collect all the science that we needed. This mod just automates all of that and says, as long as you have your routine set up properly on the craft, it'll just take it from A to B, and it'll collect stuff on the way. So that's very good. And I made this dumb rover here that is just kind of going from A to B on Kerbal, or Kerbin, I guess. And is collecting a bunch of science. Oh, hi, Toby. I think it's Toby's begging time for beggars, so he's going to be popping in and out. So yeah, see, it says distance to target, and you can see it going down. It's actually, I think, moving to this mountain range here. And I guess I'll just speed it up. Oh, awaiting sunlight. So I guess it just ran out of battery power at night, and now it's moving again. Here says you're going to have a lot to see tomorrow. That's good news. I'm excited for Minecraft. Tomato says, did you see that square thing on the moon in that picture from the Chinese rover? Just a rock. Yeah, that was extremely good. I mean, obviously it was going to just be a rock. Pretty sure when Janelle showed me a picture of that, she was like, look at this, it's 2001. And I was like, it's just going to be a rock, right? But there are some infrared... Oh, here's the other thing. So this is kind of a long-term goal for this playthrough, I think. Well, the really long-term goal is like warp travel or whatever. But mid-term goal, I guess. There are space telescopes in this mod. And one of the things that the space telescopes allow you to do is to find and track comets and asteroids. And what I realized is that that's not just like a cool thing. That is a very useful thing, because there are science objectives on asteroids and comets that get you a ton of science points. So I think that would be a very good like midterm goal, to level up to the space telescope, find like a passing comet, and do science on it. So yeah, I'm not sure why I can't open this control panel anymore. That seems like maybe some kind of bug. Let's see if I reload the controllers. It seems like it started after we found Cordios' dead body, or Cordios' zombie body, so I wonder if there's some kind of weird thing with that. Here, let's go to the rover and see if that makes a difference. Although, let me get to daytime here so we can see what we're doing. Can asteroids crash into the world and kill everyone? I think they can cure. Probably not. This might just be like copy, but I was sort of briefly scanning the page that was talking about this, the asteroids and stuff, and it mentioned something about colliding with Kerbal. Maybe they just harmlessly collide. I mean, obviously there's not like a population center that's modeled in the game, but they probably actually do have trajectories that might bring them into collision courses. So yeah, let's take a look here. Show control panel. Okay, so maybe you can only use the control panel when you're controlling the craft. I guess that's probably the case. So yeah, this is really simple. You just kind of pick on the map. You can see it's got a latitude, longitude thing here. I kind of wish that it gave you the ScanSat map, which is the this fancy map here instead. Maybe it lets you do that. Let's try it. Can I click there? Will it change it? No. Okay, yeah, you've actually got to click on the real Kerbal map, but that's okay. We can kind of see that like this is probably fine, and then we can hit go. And then we have to switch back to the Toby, get out of here. What are you doing? Toby! Oh! He's being deliberately annoying in order to get his food early. An asteroid re-entered atmosphere just above the town where my family lives over New Year's weekend. Wow. That's crazy, Kira. I did not read about that. That's pretty cool. Go to your bed. We exercised Toby a lot today, so he's just, like, probably starving for his food. Trevor says, does he ever succeed in getting his food early? We allow, like, a margin of probably 15 to 20 minutes of begging, like, succession? Begging, triumph. We need to check our... Okay, so we've got 5 Kerbals ready for missions. We need a few new engineers and things. We lost all these people. We need to resurrect them, but I think we might have to do that in between playthroughs. So I'm gonna just grab like an engineer. We'll just change their names eventually to big babies. And that'll be fine. Okay, so mission. We need to figure out what we're gonna do. With this new rover technology, I think it's probably a good idea to try landing a rover on the moon again. Actually, the rover I just built is probably totally fine for moon roving. Let's take a look at the science and see what we actually need. Although I think I might take a short break and kick Toby out of this room. unless somebody wants to buy him a treat, because he's going nuts and Janelle is not able to distract him right now. Okay, thank you, Kira. Appreciate that. Can you go over there and just sit down, and then there you go. Okay. So, let's take a look at what we need. Unfortunately... what's this might thing again? Can't do that on the moon. Oh, I did not realize there was a Toby Cam thing happening. Oh, I got muted? Oh, well, that's fine. So this needs to be done in space. Maybe there isn't like anything. Oh, here we go. So the telemetry reports are pretty good. They're 8 science apiece. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible. Oh, the temperature scans. The telemetry reports with the temperature scans, that's like 20 apiece per biome. That's quite good. Radiation scans? Ah, yes. And these are surface scans. Okay. So it looks like between radiation, telemetry, and temperature, if we get a probe on the moon, or a rover on the moon, and just drive it around, it'll probably be a good amount of stuff. I wonder if it's like exponentially more to go to Minmus though. Let's Let's see, because that's the other moon in the system. It looks like not too much more. Yeah, unfortunately, the EVA reports are really the ones that give you a ton, along with the crew reports, and that you cannot automate with a little rover, unfortunately. I guess we could technically, but we'd have to like build a rover with enough life support. We could do it. Probably the people that we sent would die. Yeah, that'd be a mess. I am gonna take a short break and deal with Toby. I'll be right back, sorry. Okay. Toby will return when he's had his dinner. He's a little less Toby. Okay, so yeah, I think whoa. Asteroid sample. So if you find fragments of asteroids on the surface, you get 175 per biome. Wow. 140 on the moon. Oh boy, it really is like they want you to just have the actual Kerbals running around taking reports and stuff, and that's how you get the most science, but that would just be so dicey. I mean, we tried that moon space plane, it did not go well. I don't know if we should try that again. I think the radiation scans are probably good enough to get quite a bit going here. Yeah. That's right, the surface samples give you a ton. Oh gosh, they really just want you to land mad missions and then take off a bunch. Well, let's do a probe. I think we are going to have to rebuild our rocket. Because, yeah, everything that we built before has unknown part modules. So, all right. Here we go. This is going to be the first of... I guess what I'll try to do with this is maybe build like another general heavy lifter that we can use and reuse for these like moon missions. I think we probably should do... I guess if we did a mission to drop a probe on the moon and then did a mission to drop a probe on Minmus, we'd probably get a ton of science between the two of those things. So I guess that's maybe the goal, is we can build a rocket that will get us to both of those places. And once we have all that science, we should be able to unlock a few more of the R&D categories, which would give us some cool stuff to play around with. We're kind of just on the precipice of like the really interesting parts, and so I think we need to just do these probe missions and just see where we get. Hey Tyler. The other thing we could do is unmanned missions to Mars. I think we technically do have the technology to make that happen, but that's a little bit trickier. I think the trouble we were having with that, and I guess I can confirm this if I just take a look at the tracking station and see what we actually have in space. I think the trouble we have with that is that we were running out of our communications range was not great enough to keep unmanned stuff working that far away. We could probably get something to Eve, and that would be a little bit easier. But Yeah. I think that was the problem, as I recall, that we had an unmanned probe out here and then we just lost communications. It was like it was the very edge of our range. And then it just sort of spiraled off into space because we lost control of it. A manned mission, I think, is just out of our reach right now because we just don't have enough of the stuff that we need to keep everybody alive. And really just like efficient engines and fuel, I think, would be the main issue because it's just going to be a super heavy burn to return from there. So, okay. Let's just chill out. This will be like a very chill building, maybe like 20 minutes or so. So if anybody wants to chat about anything, now's the time. Hello to everybody in chat. Apologize for not streaming much the last few weeks. It's been a busy time. But I think what I'm going to do going forward here is just kind of stream when I can and maybe not schedule them much. Because when I try to schedule them, it just inevitably fails lately. But I do have plenty of opportunities to just jump in for like an hour or two here and there. And then there's sometimes I'm just like, oh, I shouldn't do that because I didn't schedule it ahead of time, but that's dumb. I should just stream. So, okay, we're gonna need, let's see. So what kind of, well, here, let's do this. Let's actually make sure that our rover is the, it's probably not good enough for the moon. This is our super basic rover that I built in 3 minutes before the start of the stream. Whoops. Trying to think if there's anything that we would want. Well, I guess we need science instruments on this. This light scanning arm, I think, actually would be good to have on here. I don't really remember how it works, but maybe we can use it. That's not going to clear. I think I want it to be like... Oops. There we go. It's like if this extends... Okay. So that does kind of a weird wavy thing. I guess it's like giving us some range. Maybe, I guess it'd probably be fine if I put it up here, huh? Is it... It's a pretty... Well, maybe not, though. Maybe not. Seems like it wants to be near the ground. Alright, yeah, I'll put it on the end like that. That's fine. And... what else do we need? I guess we need to configure the experiments that are on the probe core. Right now we have telemetry and... I think, yeah, all right. We'll do that, and then we'll put the Geiger counter on here for radiation scanning. I think that's kind of all we can do. There's no reason to put a barometer on a moon rover. These things are for scanning from space, so I guess that's it. And I guess let's just make sure this thing is shielded. It doesn't need to be shielded, there's no crew. Alright, yeah, I guess that's fine. So I guess, yeah, how are we going to get this thing onto the surface of the moon? Probably the safest thing to do would be to just put it inside of a lander. We did do that really wacky thing that one time where we had it split off. We had a rover split off from the Kerbal lander and landed them both simultaneously. I don't think I want to try and do that again. That was pretty insane. We could put engines like on the side of this thing and have this thing land itself. It's probably safer to just roll it off of a landing craft, though. It's not very big. We could probably just put it in cargo and then just kind of roll it down the plank. Sometimes you get in trouble with that because you can oh wait, I just switched editors. Okay, so we're gonna, well, I guess this is fine. Oh no, it's not fine because it's gonna think that this is the controller. So what we want to do is take this and then merge the other ones. So we'll do this and then go like that, and now we have this here. Okay. You can have a land and return with crew, leave the rover. Yeah, that's the idea, Tomato. And then the question is just like, do we have like, I don't think this is gonna fit inside of a service bay. Yeah, unless I really scaled it up. So I don't think so. Yeah, probably something like this, I guess. Oh, but no, but then it's gonna, I don't know how to do it. Maybe it will fit if I just, let's see, so this is that size. Okay, that's pretty good. And then what if we do this? Open this baby up. Oh, but then, how are we gonna like, there we go. There we go. Okay, now, what we need is a way to decouple this. So, yeah. That should work. So, you know, you decouple, it drops to this thing, and then you just kind of roll it off somehow. The problem is this could be pretty high up. Okay, now I'm thinking of something really wacky. Maybe this does detach, and maybe this is its own landing craft. I feel like that's the way to go. Okay, hold on. Let's do like a 3-engine deal. And cheetahs are, I think, the most efficient. We're gonna test this on the ground. Well, it won't make it with cheetahs in Kerbal space. Won't be able to test that, but usually if you just add like a decent amount of fuel, it kind of works. Maybe we want 4 engines just to play it safe. So yeah, like if this thing, oh, but the engines are a problem now. Because of these doors. That's not gonna work. It's gonna be really unstable. We'll do it higher up. So we'll kind of take that, and we'll do like another structural section here. That's such a long thing. Just another service bay, maybe? Yeah, just like a little dinky service bay. I guess that's just may as well take this and scale this up. That's just gonna be so much stuff, though. I don't think we need that much stuff. We really just need like a short little structural section that we just don't have, I guess, because we don't have enough parts right now. Maybe just this. And then coupling. Whoa. This is an interesting idea. Let's try this. Oh yeah. Wait, so this whole thing's gonna decouple? But in what direction? I don't understand. I guess we're gonna have to really test this because I don't know how this is gonna behave. It seems like it's cool though. The thing is, like, how's this gonna work? Oh boy, because we don't want the engines to decouple on the moon and then explode. That would be bad. I don't think we want it to decouple at all. We're just gonna make its own little lander thing, and then it'll, this'll just be the bottom of it. We'll just land it flat on the moon, without wheels. Or, without struts, rather. Or maybe we'll add struts and then we'll just retract them so that it's flat. I guess that's what we'll do. Sorry, this is really a lot of time spent trying to figure this out, but I think this is probably the way to go. So, I know, I wish you could add ramps. Yeah, it's a bummer. And, you know, now that you mention that, there's this part that I've never used. It's called a grip pad. And I wonder if that would actually make sense to add to this. Like, just 4 grip pads to the bottom, so that when we retract the struts, yeah, there's some friction. I think you just saved us with that, because that's probably going to be important, I think. So, well, yeah, this is still a bit of an issue. I don't think this can roll over this safely. Maybe we're going to have to just land it flat on the moon. Oh, you know what? I guess if we just... Here, let's do this. Yeah, if we just put them in the corners here, it's okay, I think. They need to be angled differently than that. They really don't want to be, do they? That's a pretty... That's not good. Oh, God. All right, here we go. We're gonna do micro structures here. Scale these down like so, and then we're definitely gonna have to test this before we leave because this could be a real mess. Yeah, we'll just do like that. Okay. So the idea is that, like, oh no, that's still gonna stick up. Oh, geez. Well, yeah, this service bay is just sort of weird because it doesn't, what about this? What about like pairs of these? So like that, then that, like that. That's probably fine. That'll be fine. It's a little precarious. It could wobble in the one direction, but I think that might be the best option. And then once we retract, oh, they'll still be, yeah, we're still gonna want to slide them up to like here-ish. So that we're basically on the ground. Okay, boom, nailed it. I think that's good. Yeah, the thing about dropping it off is that, I mean, oh god, there are like little retro rockets, but oof, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is essentially going to be dropped off, but I mean, I wonder. Yeah, I mean, okay. So now let's see. Let's see something here. Wow, these are kind of interesting. All right, let's go to couplers. Let's use these guys, and let's use the smaller version of them. Wait, why is this not coupling? Okay. Wow, I wonder. Oh man, this could be interesting. This could be interesting. What if we did like lots of really small, engines? Just like lots of them. Why is that snapping? Not snapping. I need to just do like one of them. Listen, it's absolutely gonna go wrong, but will it go like too wrong? Or will it go just wrong enough? Yeah, this sucks. This isn't working. There are these little spider guys. What if we did like 1,000,000 of these? We're gonna call this the million spider concept. Yeah, see, the issue is that there just isn't enough space on this thing because of the doors. Although that still doesn't really, that doesn't work. Yeah, okay. Still gonna need to add a little bit of something to the top of this thing. But I'm kind of liking where we're at with that, everything below there. Let's add just like a structural piece. Let's add like a octagonal strut. Now we're a little bit top heavy, but like, not heavy, but just sort of. Probably gonna want. How heavy are these? 0.04, 0.05. Wow, these are actually lighter than some of the other. Oh. Wait a minute, I kind of like this. This is gonna look interesting. Wait, no, we want it like that, I think, and then. See, this isn't snapping either. I don't really quite. I don't understand. Oh, I guess that's snapped. Eh, not really. Oh, it might be an issue. Yeah, maybe it wants to snap to these fuel tanks, but not to the. There we go. So probably it'll. Yep, it's fine now. Okay. Let's slide these up a bit. Okay. Oh, they're in the way of the door still. Because they're so long because of this. Well, can we get this like really high up on here? It's as high as it goes. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Let's just do 4, I suppose. I don't know if that will like explode because it's intersecting or what. Framus, I've never played Armored Core. I did see something about a Prum game, Armored Core Prum game. I don't know what's going on with that, but I did notice that. Decouple the door blockers and have the last two for landing. I see what you mean. Yeah. I think this might be enough, but let's see if I can get more fuel on here. Okay, you can. I think this is probably worth trying. This is not going to be particularly easy to get onto the moon. It's a lot of weight. But let's try. Let's call this the. Well, we'll call it the Gobbler 1 because we need to start over our lineage here. Yeah, let's test this on the launch pad. Potato, I thought about that. That's why we're going to be doing some testing. Yeah, I saw that. What? There's an armored core thing. Is it like a rumor, or is it like a real? It's a real thing. Okay. So, oh wow, 3 brave Kerbals here. Interesting that it seems a little whoops. Okay, well now that those are gone, we can test this part. Let's go retract, and open. Decouple, switch view, and we're driving. Oh, hey. Okay. I think we're gonna want the decoupler to be faced in the other direction so that it doesn't stay on the on the old rover here, but it worked, more or less. Although let's revert to launch and test those engines without going anywhere. Not quite sure if they were hitting the fuselage. Yeah, if anybody has any suggestions for things to stream coming up, please do let me know. I love Kerbal, but I also have an itch for like some kind of run-based game. I was almost thinking about going back to Hades, but I don't know. Oh, I'm definitely gonna play Elden Ring. Is that like a month from now? Is that right? Looks like this is gonna work. And this is like a gut feeling, but this feels like enough fuel to land. So particularly because this won't be here. You'll have even more Delta V. All right, let's go back to the assembly. Man, Tyler, I thought about going back to Splunky. I just don't really have like a goal at this point. I mean, I can always get better, but like, it felt like I sort of exhausted it. I don't really have a desire to do like the space. What's it called? The level, the 99 level section. I got there and I was like, okay, you know, I didn't have a real desire to like do runs of that. Mario 64 speedrunning? Oh god. I don't, you know, I do enjoy like watching those occasionally, like once a year, like GDQ stuff, but I don't know that I could. I did actually load up Mario 64 and do a backwards long jump through the wall one time. I was really happy that I was able to pull that off, but I don't think I could do that for real over and over again. I knew that was coming, Charles. Heat Signature is a game I didn't spend enough time with, probably. It's not a bad idea. Also might return to Oxygen Not Included because they finally merged the core game with the DLC content, so you can play on the not asteroid thing, like on a normal map, but with all the new stuff. So that seems like it would be fun. Really enjoyed playing Don't Starve Together with Janelle over holiday break, but I think she burned out on it because we kept making it to like spring and then dying to some random something or other, and it was always kind of a bummer. All right, so oh wait, I was gonna, before I forget, yeah, I think this is all gonna work, but I do want to fix the decoupler issue here. So let's take that and do this, and then do it like that. Perfect. Yeah. I don't see any like major issues with any of this. I think this is all good to go. And I think it's going to get us a lot of science and be very good. Cool. Okay, let's save. Close this. So now we just need to build a lifter part. Well, and also the stage that will get these guys home. I think there are some experiments that we haven't done that are just like orbital experiments, but for like the crew. I feel like EVAs as well. So like EVA reports over the biomes. Oh, it's only on surface. Okay. What about crew reports over particular stuff? Let's see. Nothing much of value, really. They want you to be on the moon. There was something though. Yeah, space high, which is like high orbit, and all of these SITE experiments, which I think are like light something or other. I don't really remember what this is supposed to be. It's something. Let's go to science here and find the thing. Actually, I think you have to use like a probe thing to do this one. Oh no, our flag is not working. We don't have the Toby face. Gonna have to fix that. Well, we'll just, I guess we'll just add an unmanned. You know, kind of think of it. Do we even really need to bring Kerbals? Can this just be completely unmanned? Like, unless we're gonna do like crew or EVA reports or anything, I don't know if there's a reason to even have Kerbals on this. Whoa. That is an alarm. Yeah, I don't know that we even need to bring Kerbals. See you, Potato. 16 star run in under 40 minutes. Wow, that's pretty solid, DCA. What's the world record for that? It's probably like 8 minutes or something, or. Yeah, I don't think there's a real reason to even bring our Kerbals with us. I think we just use a probe core for this. Okay. Which means that configure unmanned experiments. Okay, there we go. So this is like some kind of dust survey. Can we do this light thing, or is that only... Oh yeah, we can. Okay. So we'll... Oh no, we've already done it. Okay. Alright. Well, we'll try to get the sight experiment done. Oops. Alright, so we're going to need to stack separate here eventually. So this is going to be kind of in between this and this. I mean, once this thing separates, it's unclear whether we even need anything else on this, except for... Because if it's just going to be... We'll just end up using this as like a relay, a high-powered communications relay. We'll just orbit the moon and also collect this science that we need. So maybe just a little bit of like structure. And a stack separator. And yeah, I guess on this thing, we'll probably want batteries and God, that's a lot of electric charge. That's a really upgraded battery pack compared to what we have had. And some solar panels and things. I mean, I think we've fully mapped the moon, but there's probably no reason to not just bring the multi-spectrum scanner and like... I don't know if this resource map... I think this resource mapper is also pointless, but I'm just going to put all the bells and whistles on here because I don't know why we wouldn't. And then this is the most powerful antenna. So we'll drop one of those on there. But then this is also, I think... Well, the other thing is, you can boost your range by adding more than one. It drops off in power, like there's a curve on this in terms of how useful it is to have more than one. But I'm going to maybe put 4 on just for some really boosted power. We'll just make this into like a super powerful relay. Let's see, where's the... There we go, that's the good stuff. Okay. And let's see, what other scientific things would we want? I think that's all we need, really. Okay. Yep, that's just going to be our cool probe that's just... you know what? We probably want this to have some fuel and maneuverability after the fact. Even though... the fuel should probably be in here. Shoot. Well, this will be easy enough. So I'll just put the parts right over here, and we'll just slap them all right back on. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we probably do want this thing to be able to course correct a bit. So we want to add like too much fuel, so probably like something like that, and then scale this up. We don't want it to weigh down everything more than it needs to, but okay. Yeah. Looks good. Snap that back on. Okay. And now the actual rocket. Well, let's maybe just do this as like a two-stager. I feel like 3 would be excessive. And then probably like right here, we're gonna want the fairing, although I guess because everything is sized up, this is gonna be kind of weird. Here, let's do this. Is that actually gonna work? No, maybe. Maybe that works? No. Okay. Maybe this is all too big now because of the... Let's try some different parts here. What we need is like, yeah, this adapter piece. That's pretty... This is the problem with this, is like it just makes this whole thing so top heavy. Was I doing stuff like this before? I guess I should also just check that, like, even at its max width, will it be wide enough to cover these engines? And the answer might be no. I thought you could scale these up, but I guess not. Well, we don't necessarily need the fairing, but it would be nice to have. Oh boy. I wish I could look at our past designs. I know I solved some of these problems already, but it's been a minute. Well, what if we just do this? As dumb as this looks, just for the moment, let's say we're gonna do this. And then can we get this thing around? And we can't. Okay, what if, all right, let's try this. Whoa. They don't really stick out far enough. No. What if we made them stick out with structure? Oh, then they're just not going to fit the fairing. What am I doing? Yeah, this is... Maybe... God, maybe we do just, like... Okay, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna ditch this service bay. It just adds too much. And we're gonna do it like this. And we're gonna land this sucker right on the engines. And after it lands, we're going to decouple the rover. And then after the rover is decoupled, we're going to fly this section away, and it will just go off and detonate somewhere else. I think that'll work. The landing on the engines part's a little rough. I guess I'll add struts. I suppose that's not really... Though it'll probably end up landing on the engines anyway, but... will this work now? I mean, I'll need some structure below this, I suppose. I guess the way to do this is really to go like that. Yeah. Something's intersecting. I guess it's those legs. The little leggies. Boy, it would be a shame. Well, here, let's scale this down, I guess. It's Sunday, January 9th. No, we're gonna delete that and make it a little smaller. It's definitely like it's gonna work, but it doesn't need to be that big. I guess we can probably there we go. There we go. Okay. Oh, except I didn't add some necessary things here, but that's basically what we're gonna do. Okay. So, is the cheetah still our most efficient thing? We're looking at the engine ISP value. In this case, in vacuum, it's 355. Is anything lower than that now? I think it's still the most efficient one. Anyone have any ideas on what could go in the top LCD space of the overlay? Yeah, that's a good question, Apple. I always look at stuff like that and I'm like, yeah, some of it's, you know, built into like Streamlabs, and you know, it's hard for me to find things that would actually be easy to use for just a normal setup. So yeah, I definitely appreciate any ideas that people have. Okay, so yeah, that'll be the engine there. So then we'll put the stack separator or the airframe on like here. Okay. The clock on the TV. Oh man. That would be an interesting challenge, yeah. Okay, so that's the engine, that's the fuel. And this is the other section. So now this is the second stage of the rocket. Okay. Sorry, I'm just figuring out where these different stagings should go, because they're really wrong right now. Okay, that seems correct. Cordios asks, when will we start getting images from the James Webb? My understanding was like, what, 5 months now-ish? Like 6 months total, but 5 months. I guess it's only been launched for like a week, so maybe a little bit over 5 months, and then they start taking pictures. I don't know if they're gonna like release them right away. If Rubik's is here, Rubik's can obviously tell us, but I think Rubik's maybe had to go. But yeah, it's like 5 months of calibration now that everything's successfully unfolded. Yeah, this is definitely a really wide boy. So I don't know if this is gonna be enough fuel for the second stage. Let's hedge our bets a little bit here. And then, I mean, I'm also not confident in the Cheetah as the engine. Maybe something that's like, a little bit more powerful. I guess the Cheetah. What about the Poodle? Where's the Poodle? I don't know that we have the Poodle. Maybe just a Reliant here. Does this have gimbals? This one I don't think does. I think we want the swivel, I guess. Yeah. I think I feel better about that than the Cheetah. I mean, it's less efficient, but like having the extra thrust just in case we get into trouble, probably a good idea. Okay, and now the main stage. So we're gonna have to do our little trick here of daisy chaining all this stuff, but I think this will take too long. Oh, the other cool thing with the mods that I got working is 100% if we parachute our different stages, we'll gain, get our money back for that. I probably won't worry about it right off the bat because we have a lot of money, but something to look into for the next iteration here. Okay, so what do we think? 3 of these? 4 of these? This is a tall rocket right now. I guess 3, and then what's our most powerful? It's the mainsail, right? Want that high engine quality, which I almost forgot about. I think there is a way to default all of that to standard or to high quality, which would probably be a really good thing to have. Okay, so we're gonna do our decoupling garbage here. I guess we'll do 6 different sections here. And like that's not actually touching, right? Okay, there we go. Oops. We will just move these up manually. Okay. Good enough. Well, actually, I think we can probably move the... let's see. Oh, oh no, that's bad. I think this thing is just like not snapped on now. Okay, yeah, there we go. It didn't like that. Alright, so where is all this stuff here? These are down here. And these are here. Okay. Uh-oh. God, that looks kind of cool. At some point, when we get the like really high-tech stuff, we need to make something that looks like the ship from Alien. What happens if I just hit undo? Oh, good, it just all deletes. Ah, but undo twice. There we go. Okay. That was pretty good. So that's the protective shell. We're gonna want that up there. So this fires, and then we enable this. It should be this engine. Where is this one? What are these? Oh, okay, that needs to be like up here. Yes, the Nostromo, Tyler. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we'll have to do some famous movie recreations. Maybe, like, maybe that's all I'm gonna need for save these. Let's try it. Let's try it. But you know, the thing that's annoying about that, let's just not even bother with it. You gotta like link the parachutes up with the daisy chaining thing and it just becomes a real pain in the butt. Let's just worry about it later. Okay. Cones, we need cones. Can't remember what the best cone is. This one seems fine. And now the fuel stuff. Here, let's do this. So, well, fine. Okay. You go to you. Wait, how does this work again? Yeah. And then this goes to this. Now we have to do the opposite on the other side. So this one feeds that boy. This boy feeds that man. So this will drop, then this one drops, and this one drops. Yeah, okay. Okay, and then we have to now just create the different groups. So this there's an easy way to know. Oh, you know what? These aren't actually like on here right. Ugh, doesn't look good. Maybe it'll be fine though. They're sort of like, yeah, they're really not. It doesn't look right. I don't know. Oh, I hate to redo this, but I'm not confident in that. Now that I remember how to do the fuel stuff, it doesn't take too long to do it, but see, it's just, I'm not quite sure why this happens. Do this. So is that actually like properly on there? It looks like it is. And then what we'll do is we'll just add structural struts on the bottom. And these will break off when they get disconnected. Maybe I'll get a little fancier with this. That's probably gonna be fine. Oh wow, did it actually save the fuel lines? No, it just made them really stupid. Oops. Did anybody here stay up and watch the James Webb launch? Janelle actually woke up in the middle of the night to watch it. I was too tired. But she managed to set an alarm. the web tracker. I haven't been. I should be. I've been following the news of it, but I have not been following the actual tracker. So, this is here. Okay. Oh, thanks, Kira. Okay, and now for the most annoying part, but not as annoying as it used to be because I've gotten used to this. We just have to make sure that we know. I think actually the way this works is like this one and this, yeah. These two are paired now, and then it's this one and. Oops. So it should be, okay, that one and that one. And those are the final ones. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot easier than it used to be now that I've figured out the way that the game likes to assign those. Okay, cool. So, wow. Pretty darn tall. But let's see. That's the final one. Jettisons that, then that jettisons, then this engine fires. Now we've got that going. That, to that, that, to that, to that, to that. Okay, that's actually all correct. We are in pretty close, I think, to just trying this. I don't know, I don't know that we really need like a lot of instruments and things on here. We do need batteries and solar power to make it to the moon, but this section will have that, so we don't need it on the actual launcher. We do need some stability stuff for the launch pad itself. Let's see. So those go along with the. Let's fire the engines before we launch it, and then okay. So I think this is actually probably done. I don't know that we need to do any more than this. It's possible that I've forgotten something, and it'll be really tragic. Because I haven't played this game in a minute, and there's always like one thing that I forget about, like, oh, you needed the flim-flam, or it's not gonna work, whoops. But it isn't manned, so we don't need to worry about shielding or radiation or any of that garbage. Oh, fins on the rockets here. Probably a good thing to have. I don't want them to intersect with the launcher, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything else. We don't need life support. We don't need all those usual things. Okay. Make sure to buy bishops? I don't know what you mean, Ugly. Oh. This isn't... Gobbler. Okay. Alright, let's do it. God, I'm gonna have to get a new bot for the stream announcement. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of craving like a Slay the Spire type game. Um, just something I can play like if I've got an hour to stream, but not 6, you know? Um, oh, I don't have RCS, but I don't think we really need it. I think it'll be okay. Let's just go. Let's do it. Oof. It's kind of it's more squat than I imagined. It is a fast one. Maybe not enough fuel for these stages here. It seems like, well, I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping that these don't explode. Okay. I forgot to add the little things that jettison them off to the side. But that worked fine. Boy, it's really moving. Doing a bit of a early roll here. Whoa. Interesting. Something happening over there. I'll have to figure out what that is later. Oh yeah, we need to really roll. Oh boy. Although rolling is always tricky here because now when I jettison the thing, I better actually roll back. Okay, and now we're good to roll. Yeah, that's always a scary moment. That now, probably. That's our trajectory here. Looking good. Stage will be enough to get us into stable orbit. Love that view. Okay, and now we're gonna just go down to like very little engine burn for like a second. Then we'll do our flatten out our orbit here once we get a little bit closer to the apoapsis. Not yet, Bill. However, that is kind of my midterm goal. There are infrared telescopes that you can launch in Kerbal, and you can locate comets and asteroids that you can then land on and do science on. So, once I learned that, I was like, oh, we've got to get the space telescope going for that. Charles says, what about busting out Planet Coaster? Not a bad idea. I really do enjoy that game. I need some kind of project, but there are no shortage of ideas when it comes to Planet Coaster projects usually, so let's just get rid of this now. And, okay, well, I think, let's see, we still got 2 minutes to go. So I may as well add a maneuver here to, actually, I wonder if we can just do this in one. Can we just get to the moon? Yeah, we can. Okay. Let's go right around the backside of the moon, something like that. That looks good. So this will be a 10-minute burn. Oh my god, alright. Oh no, at that speed. Right, okay. Alright, yeah. It's probably time to do the burn. Yep, about a minute to go. Probably about a minute. Well, we're 2 minutes into the thing, so this is a little early, but that's okay. like we're gonna have to use our second stage to finish this burn. So yeah, now I'm glad I brought the more powerful engine for that. Yeah, Planet Coaster would be fun. But yeah, I would definitely need an idea for that. I like the idea of Dark Souls, like a From Software kind of park, but it's so ambitious to try to do something like that, like meticulously building castles and things. Like, oh god, it's a lot of like really. Hitman 3 VR launches on PC this month. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's gonna have to get played then. Oh, we've got plenty of Delta V here. This is gonna be just fine. Hey Yato. Did I say hey Yato already? Sorry, I'm a little stream rusty, if I'm being honest. That's true, Aeon, yeah. Well, the idea of, like, we would need, like, ride concepts, or just, like, a park concept that would be fun or funny. Okay, so something weird has happened here. I'm off course a bit. Let's correct. Let's plan a corrective burn. Yeah, we are no longer hitting the moon. Let's set that as target. Okay, so I got you. All right, so we're gonna need to do that kind of burning. All right. Perhaps this would be pretty high there, so let's see if we can get that down. So I want to go in this direction. Okay. Oh, 86. Wow, that'd be amazing if we could nail that. 86,000. That would be colliding with the moon. 13,000, that's a little too low. 53. Let's shoot for that. Not yet, Yato. This is, we're going to try to land a rover on the moon that will then do a lot of science and hopefully all the science that we will get from it will allow us to get some more tech. Charles, that's a really interesting idea. I like that idea. The only thing I don't like about it has nothing really to do with the idea, but just like I wouldn't want to make anyone feel bad if I didn't do their ride, you know, or whatever. But that's still a very interesting idea. I suppose I could just like ask if anybody had, if anybody wanted their ride done specifically. That'd be fun. I don't know that I'd be like good enough to pull that off in some cases, though. Some of those were so detailed and well done. It'd probably still be fun to like do just like, you know, I don't know. I still think there'd be like, it'd be fun to make like a Spelunky ride or something. Like just the idea of that is like somewhat challenging. I feel like it'd be a fun task. I think Dark Souls was just maybe the wrong game to pick. Because it just became really daunting. But trying to make like a Spelunky ride in Planet Coaster, that'd be fun. Okay, here we go. The downside of not having RCS on this thing is that you can't really properly align the craft before the burn, so it's just going to be slightly inaccurate. But, okay, here we go. Take a peek. And we're going to very quickly get to our periapsis. Let's try to... Ooh, perfect. 56,000 around the moon. This is going to be amazing. Although, I don't even know... I think for the one... I think I need to be in, like, space high for the, for some of the science that I was going to do, but that's okay because we can always adjust to a higher altitude after we drop the probe down. Alright, let's get our solar stuff out. Apparently it's taking radiation damage. That's not good. And oh, didn't realize we can run this experiment. I guess because we're above the Earth. And that's cool. Okay. Everything's taking radiation damage. I don't know why. You need a game with an iconic vehicle. That's probably true. Or a game that would, like, allow for a vehicle. Although there are, like, dark rides now on Planet Coaster, like Haunted Mansion style dark rides. So, the possibilities are almost endless now. Okay, here we go. We're going to the moon. What? Going to the moon. Okay. So we have been captured by the moon's gravity. Our periapsis is going to be 56. That is like all-time great moon entry here. And the only thing I didn't do right, which is that I want to be scanning biomes for, I think, these science experiments from the craft here. So I think should be in a polar orbit, but that's okay. We'll kind of do it this way. So yeah, let's warp to next maneuver. Whoa. Okay. Spinning around here for our slow down burn. Okay. I did not mean to send us spinning as I did that, but that's fine. We're just going to be tumbling forever. Okay. Here we are. We have slowed down, and now I guess I'll just detach the... Well, there's really no reason to detach the second stage when it's still usable, so I guess I'll manually detach the probe. If I can. Let's see, where is that? Should be this one. There it goes. That kind of created some scary, Whoa! That is a really cool view. Oh man, I thought it was in eclipse for a second. It's not. Obviously the sun's over there. It's just a bit of a corona, I guess. Okay, so we are going to take. I guess from here we'll just tuck that in and end up kind of, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. 6,000 at that point? Nah, probably more like this. 20, let's see. That seems fine. Okay. All right. I like this little piece of debris kind of following us. Okay. Wow. 3,000. Way too much fuel on this thing. We do not need nearly this much. Bit of a mistake. All right, that's done. And now let's see where we are. So we will be here when we're at 19,000, and then we'll just send ourselves into the dirt. Kind of over here, I guess. So let's warp to this maneuver. Oh wow, that's a moon base down there. A couple of them. Whoa, that looks cool. Okay. Right. Okay. Oh, we're pretty low, actually. Yeah. That's okay. This is a really rocky area, but I guess that's fine. No! No! Oh no! There goes the thing. Oh, jeez. Oh, wow. I think it broke apart in space because it was going so fast? Oh, man. Well, so... I don't want to revert. I want to at least... Here, let's switch to the probe. Oh, man. All that time spent carefully hitting the perfect orbit. Oh, wow, no, this still lives. If we only had any kind of way to land it. It's really funny looking. It just looks like it's... it looks like it's just like Wall-E just kind of coasting around up here. It's got a lot of character. It's just having a good day. Whee! Extend the arm? Yeah, why not? Oh, I think the arm broke off? I wonder if that's why it failed or something. Where'd the arm go? Yeah, the arm's gone. What kind of orbit does it have? It should be a stable orbit, amazingly. But unfortunately, the stuff that's on here isn't really useful. Like, you can't really do any good science. So it's just gonna live here forever. We could just revert, but maybe it's better that this guy just lives here now. And we move on from there. Our relay stations all good to go here. This is reminding me that we really ought to, for things like that we know are going to live on the moon forever, I need to be, like, putting faces on them. They all need to have their own little backstory and lore, I feel. Okay, so this thing's running experiments. And it's sending data. So that part's successful-ish. But yeah, we need to be in a polar orbit, so let's at least do that before we launch again. So let's do this. I guess we do that. We go to the 45, and then from here we go like that. Well, maybe not. Maybe you can do it in one burn. I think you can, but it's just kind of like a mess. See? Yeah, you just gotta do like this. Okay. Oh, you know what? Not that expensive. Okay. Not the worst. Alright, let's just, yeah, let's get to this burn. I think well, I don't know. It's so that the car is its periapsis is at 19,000. You'd have to look up, is that gonna decay? With Kerbal, I think typically the way that you, like with Earth, if you're below 70,000 periapsis, then you're in a decaying orbit. And you're going to be eventually screwed. But I think with the moon, I'm not quite sure. Okay. So now we are in a more or less polar orbit, and we should be getting lots of science from this. It's like 10 per biome, I think. So that's cool. That'll give us something. I can't believe that happened. I really, you know what I want? I want the mod that just, like, every time you hit spacebar to separate or to activate a new stage, it just says, like, are you sure you want to do this? And then you have to, like, click yes. Okay. Yeah, I want a little safety switch. I'm sure that exists on the real space shuttle. Or space rockets, rather. Okay. I guess I will launch the exact same mission and just sort of speed up the... Yes, we're going to launch the Millennium Falcon. Fully functional, pure stock Star Wars replica aircraft with stock missiles. No. We're going to launch... That does sound cooler than what I'm doing. But, we're going to launch this guy again. Can't afford it. Nonsense. What is it? It's like... F11 something. Alt F12. Yeah, this was the, we decided at some point on this stream series that because this was such a difficult mod, combination that we were gonna essentially turn this into a science playthrough as opposed to a career playthrough where money matters. Money mattering with all of this stuff was just like absolutely brutal. Definitely, this mod is not balanced for that. A switch cover for your spacebar? The spacebar would be a tough one to cover. I guess I could remap it to like a different key. But yeah, that was weird because. So why did that even happen? Because the engine was activated. I don't know. I'll have to take it really slow this time. Okay, here we go. At least I roughly know now, like what we're dealing with as far as this rocket is concerned, and like, you know, what the wow, yeah. I wonder what's going on over here. That almost seems like, oh, I know what that is. I think I have two different texture mods for Kerbal, so they're fighting each other. So I need to delete one of them. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. It's the yeah, the two mod things just going at each other. Okay, now we'll start to roll. I'm gonna play it fast and loose. I think these, well. Actually, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Is it? It's fine. I mean, it's not like the fast and loose part was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. Oh no, I did lose the center engine. So this is pretty screwed. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. We need retro engines. We need... You know what? Let's just make them. Let's just do it. Because if they work, it'll be cool. Oh, we don't have them unlocked yet. I think that's the issue, actually. We don't have them unlocked. We need to unlock them. That's okay. We'll just do it the way we did it the last time, and everything will be fine. Shit. It's just weird because then you've got to... Well, maybe this is fine. I like the zoom lens on this insane Z fighting or whatever's happening. I guess this is just, yeah, it's just big textures. We'll win. Okay. So we're just gonna go like straight up and then hard over. It's not the most efficient way to launch, but it is a way to launch. Yeah, so well, these are unmanned, so, you know, we're not even really cranking Kerbals, we're just wasting taxpayer money, which, you know, that's fine. Okay, so let's see. We are, yeah, we're at 100,000, and this is Alright, perfect. And then, yeah, I think I can just sort of wing this. Let's just... Well, no, let's bring this down to, like, very little. Do maneuver. We'll see if we can hit the moon again. From here, it's going to be tough now that we've... It's, oops, wrong way. Yeah, we're probably going to have to orbit. It's fine, I guess. So... Missed our transfer window, more or less, here. Hello, welcome to Kerbal Space Program. This is an incredibly modded version of Kerbal, so if you're new, I would not install these mods. Well, maybe a few of them, but not the Interstellar one, that's for sure. So, the other thing is I only get one more ignition on this engine. So to efficiently use this fuel, we are probably, well, we're probably going to have to shut it. You're going to have to shut it down. We're just going to have to shut it down. Shut it all down. Let's move this AP all the way over here, and then probably from like here we'll do another burn. So yeah, I'm thinking like, let's see. This is all gut feeling, but yes! Look at that, okay. Perfect. Alright, that'll take 1,000. Perfect. Alright, let's just warp to the maneuver. And, hey, if you can get into orbit, that is, that's an achievement. Not an easy thing to do in this game. Alright, let's fire it up. And what do we got? We got a minute of burn here, and then we'll be in a pretty good position. Okay, so, yeah, looking good. Probably gonna monitor this pretty closely because I don't know if this is gonna line up exactly. It might. Because, I'm thinking these, like, slightly heftier engines on the second stage are the way to go. Usually I do something that's, like, really efficient, but being able to get the burn done faster is it's sort of its own efficiency. So I'm starting to rethink my... Okay, we'll just go like a little bit more... Yeah, okay, perfect. Alright, so we're back to where we were a minute ago. Let's, oh yeah, we gotta get all our stuff out. Let's get our, let's deploy our antenna and all of our solar panels so that we don't lose power on the way. And, yep, okay. Look at all that science that's coming in as we fast forward from our previous mission. A previously successful mission. Okay. And yeah, we will from here what's weird is we don't really need this one to do the science anymore. So I guess we'll just put it into a regular old orbit. And, okay. Now for our slowdown burn. Okay. Now, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to jettison the second stage, because we don't really need it. And then, oh. Okay, there we go. Oh. Alright. Wasn't a real fan of how that came apart, but now it's fine. And now I will jettison, or not jettison, but separate these two stages. Alright, now we're in control of this stage, and we will, from the, let's see, we're going to want to land in daylight, so let's go like here, and slow down. Something like that. Okay. Be very, very careful here. So, the engines are not on, so alright, yeah, okay. I'm gonna hit spacebar now. Okay. Alright, I know what I did wrong now. I did a dumb thing. Okay. So now I don't hit space again. I hit anything but space. It's just crazy that, like, if you slip and hit spacebar at any point, you're sunk. Okay, so, yeah, let's warp to, like here. We're going to want to switch this to actual... Oh, wow. What a view for this landing. Damn. Okay, so now we're going to slow down. I'm just going to land this sucker. I'm so afraid of messing this up. I think we just got to get it on the ground. I don't really care where we land as long as it's in daylight. Yep, looking good. Okay, we're falling. And here we go. Do we have, I need this, antenna to go. Wait, unavailable. Unavailable. Is it because there's a piece above it? Uh-oh. Well, it'll fly off of it eventually here. But I'm wondering why it says unavailable. I'm also wondering why I can't turn on or, like, retract these panels. Huh. Oh, I don't... Hmm. Well, I don't know the answer to those questions. I'm just gonna hope that it's okay once we get the engines off of this. Oh, we're landing in a really bad spot. We're landing on a cliff. Great. I don't really want to land in that crater either. Okay. Let's do a little bit of a... Oh no! Oh god, we're spinning out of control. Why? Why? Oh, I hit the wrong button. Oh my god. Okay, 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 okay. Oh boy. Oh. Why is it so hard to steer in this game sometimes? Oh, Jesus. Wait. Oh, something's making this really wonky. Oh. Okay. Oh my god. It's really unstable. Oh, the control point. Oh, this is just wrong. Oh, it's just... Oh, no. Oh, no. It's just, I set the wrong thing. I can't click on it. Okay, wait, control point. Reversed? I don't know. I don't know. Oh. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, that seems better. That seems better, but yeah, when I set that control point... Okay. Oh, we're going too fast now. We're going way too fast. Oh, God. Oh. I wonder what happened there. Yeah, I think it was that. Oh wow, there's a piece of debris that's just oh, catastrophic failure. Yeah, I think when I changed the control point, let me think for a second. Yes, okay, it reversed the controls. Because what you want to see is you want to see this gimbal, the blue is the sky, right? And it was orange. And I didn't realize until it was too late that that meant that the control was relative to the ground. And that was bad. Damn. Well, I think maybe I'll successfully land that off stream, and then we'll start with the rover. Or maybe I'll just fire it up when I've got a minute and try it again. But let's see if we have any science to unlock. I don't know how much we got from the other one. Oh, we're up to 160 already from that.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy,
thanks, Bill.
but because they are hard.
Okay, yeah, we have enough for something in this tier. And I'm just taking a quick peek to see if there's anything. Surface sample collection drill. Whoa! That could be really important. Because the science stuff where you get surface samples, I think is like a lot of science. I'm gonna actually just check real quick. Surface... surface sample, moon. Whoa, 88 per biome. I just had an insane idea. Do you think we could build a ship that had like 12 different probes, like the beginning of Empire Strikes Back, that just like fires them all off and they all land independently in different biomes? Oh man. Because that would be easier than driving a space plane around and landing it all the time. Would it be easier than... Probably not. I mean, it would be in the sense that, like, if only 4 of them landed, we'd still get a lot of sides from that. I'm just thinking about how you would do it. The thing is, like, the ship that we have right now has way too much fuel. Like, it does not need nearly that much fuel to land on the moon. So if you split that up amongst, like, even 4 probes, it'd be plenty. Oh, man, that'd be so cool to just, like, fire them all off. Oh, I think that's what I'm gonna do. We've got to do it. Let me just take a look here at... Because now I'm even rethinking, like, if we do that, well, you know, what am I even saying? We can probably repeatedly just drill the surface with our little rover. We don't need extra probes. We can just use this guy, and he can just drill over and over again. I guess the question is, can you do you have to return the sample? Is this like a sample that needs to be returned and processed in a thing, or can you just transmit it? You probably have to return it. That's probably why it's so... It probably has to be processed. What? Oh, I don't even... We didn't unlock the drill. I was like... Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting way ahead of us, way ahead of ourselves here because I'm so excited about this drill. I want to look it up. Let's see. So... Surface sample collection drill. Wow, there's like no information about this thing. This says deployable drill. I wonder if you have to place this thing on the ground. How would this even work? It looks like a part, though. I'm not confident that that would work very well, but maybe. This is just like jumbo fuel tanks. This would let us push away the stages. I feel like we should probably... Oh wait, we have Vernier engines. Oh. Oops. Ooh, a thermal radiator. Heat pump drill. I don't know what any of this does. I guess that... Oh, waste heat. 30,000. Hydroponics. Oh, we can get a greenhouse. That's kind of cool. But we're very close to this infrared telescope. I feel like we got to just get 300 science and then grab this infrared telescope. I think that's our goal. So I think we need to just... We need to successfully complete the mission that I was trying to complete here, and then we'll have enough science to get that telescope. And then we can start scanning for asteroids and comets and stuff. I think somebody... Theon asked, is the loop telescope to spot asteroid, land on asteroid, mine the asteroid? Yeah, well, you can also do other asteroid stuff. Why is Cordios's body part of this, like, probe panel. I don't understand why Cordios' body is like a celestial object. The asteroid sample is a thing. And then interstellar comet sample is a thing. And I don't really know why they have values associated with the different planets. Like, I don't get that. Like, is it because the samples usually fall onto one of them, or I don't get it. Maybe it's like if the comet's close to Kerbin, that's how much you get, or if it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how any of this works. Oh yeah, no, it does say, okay, so if it's landed at Kerbal, you get that much science. If it's in high space around Kerbal, you get that much science. I don't know, this is weird though, because... Yeah, I guess that's it. I guess that's it. Capture an asteroid? Wow, I don't even know. So comets. Comets is a randomly created celestial body, usually in orbit around Kerbal, although sometimes they can be found passing through the system. Like asteroids, comets are fully under control of the physics system. They don't produce gravity enough to affect nearby objects. Once a comet is captured with the advanced grabbing unit, it is considered part of the ship. It can be renamed. Whoa! You can use craft engines to alter the orbit of comets and put them into a stable orbit. Oh, that's really cool. Oh my god. Advanced grabbing unit. Okay, well, where is that in the research tree here? Oh, there it is. Oh, wow, okay. So we are in Reacher. Well, we need the scanning tech first to find the comets, and then we need this to capture them. Oh man, okay, geez. Well, this is our new goal, 100,000%. We gotta land on a comet. I like that I've barely done anything successfully, and now I'm just like, oh yeah, we gotta land on a comet. Like, what? But no, I think that would be a really fun thing to do. We gotta figure it out. Okay, well, I should probably sign off and figure out a dinner situation for my wife, for my wife's sake. But I'll be back tomorrow at some point. Let's see. It might be like a weird time. It might be, oh, we have to take Toby to the vet tomorrow. That's gonna be a whole thing. You know what? I can probably stream before Minecraft, somewhere in there. I can probably do a little bit of extra Kerbal before or after Minecraft. I'll have to check it out. Toby's okay. It's just regular shots that he needs. Yeah, I'm excited for Minecraft too, so I don't want to shortchange that. So maybe it'll just be like a little bit of bonus, like, if I have time, I'll do some extra Kerbal. Yeah, I'm also not sure about the new Minecraft Monday time. I might slide it up to 3 p.m. Pacific, but we'll have to see. Anyway, yeah, tomorrow's a little bit iffy for Kerbal. Wednesday's looking really good, though. I'm going to go ahead and assume that I'll be streaming Kerbal probably later on Wednesday. Wednesday evening. Maybe just like a big block of Kerbal. So, join me tomorrow for Minecraft at least. I'll definitely be back for Kerbal on Wednesday, but if not, I'll try to squeeze some in tomorrow or the next day. But yeah, I don't know. I'm going to probably not schedule things as much until my my actual schedule is more knowable, because it kind of holds me back from streaming when I have like a spare hour. Mentally, I feel like I need to be scheduling things ahead of time, but I'm probably just gonna like turn the stream on when I have the time now and just go for a bit. This week could still be a bit rocky, but gonna try to squeeze it in when I can. Anyway, thanks for joining me, everybody. I will definitely see you tomorrow for Minecraft, at least, and hopefully I'll be streaming throughout the week as much as I can, as opposed to last week where I really just didn't do anything. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Good chat, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Hour 2.5, and I think we're on world record pace. Not everyone runs this category. Oh! Hi, my name's Nick Brecken. All right, here we go. Oh, wow, I've never clicked this button.
Yeah, I'm Luke Skywalker. Yeah. Yeah. No!
I am a game developer, occasional podcaster. Get over the door, you coward! I stream almost daily on this channel now called Idle Thumbs. No! We have a really good community. Oh, shit. Oh, no! Please join us for,
Nope. Oh my god, I'm alive.
the hoisting. Join us for the madness. Oh no, the engine's too big. Join us for the hubris. What I need to do is stand on the roof of this Jeep and fire a rocket-propelled grenade. Oh no! No! I occasionally stream with my girlfriend Janelle. I live on the edge.
No.
I live on the edge.
No, you don't.
Sorry, I occasionally stream with my partner Janelle.
Oh, Toby.
And my wonderful dog, Toby, who you may see. Oh my god, Toby. Toby, get out of there. This part's not going to be used.
Ready for the knowledge.
Hi. This is how you take pictures. You take a lot of pictures and then you select the one good one, right? Isn't that how you take pictures? That's how. You piece of shit!
You did it!
That was way too big. I don't like being that big. This is a much better size for my face. This should be censored.